going on in Red Lake's history. I could point you to the Warrior Nation book as an example or a way to think about a deeper dive into the history. But among other things, they never allotted their reservation, which means that there's no individual land ownership at Red Lake. And the reasons were multifold and complex. I think Peter Graves gave one of the answers here when he said, "We believe it is in our best interest to own our Red Lake Indian Reservation in common so that we may not be able to commercialize or destroy our home. I want this paradise kept for my children and grandchildren." So there was an environmental concern. By the way, today, Red Lake has the cleanest aquifer in the state of Minnesota, the healthiest and most abundant walleye fishery, and they have not developed their lakeshore, and there are positive repercussions from that. But it wasn't the only thing they were thinking about. There's a very different concept about relationship to land and relationship to one another. But when you are trying to address affordable housing shortages in Red Lake, it does provide complicating variables, like you cannot get a mortgage on the land because individuals don't own the land. You can put debt on a house that you put on the land if a bank is willing to encumber the structure without the land, and historically, many banks have been more reluctant to do that. So there were lots and lots of things going on in the backstory. Among other things too, Red Lake decided that they, and objected to, a federal law which would allow the state of Minnesota to impose state criminal jurisdiction at Red Lake. It's called Public Law 280. And they have always maintained their own courts and their own police and things like that. They developed a modern governance structure decades before any of the other tribes in Minnesota. There had always been hereditary chiefs and things like that. But imagine a place like White Earth. They moved people from 20 different villages just to the village of Nadawash in the center of the reservation alone. No one's going to be chief of them all. And they sent a white Indian agent to each reservation to run the show from the treaty period until 1934 with the Indian Reorganization Act. By the time they recall the white Indian agents and say, our role as a U.S. government will now be to be advisory instead of supervisory over Indian affairs. By then, there had been so much erosion and damage to indigenous governance structures that it was very difficult to just go back to the way things were. But Red Lake had a very interesting structure. They had a system of hereditary chiefs, 7 of them, who would each appoint 5 other representatives, and together they were the tribal council. Today, that has been carried over into their modern democratic governance system. So if you have to go up and present to the Red Lake tribal government, you will see 7 hereditary chiefs and the democratically elected tribal chair and district representatives and so forth. Together, they are the tribal council. So even as you do things like tribal outreach, just knowing how different, internally different, all the different tribes are is really important. In Mille Lacs, if you have a business proposition or it's something to do with housing, the tribal government will say, don't talk to us about it. We have a separate corporate commission for dealing with business things, and we have a separate housing program that deals with housing. You need to talk to them, and we are trying not to have politicians micromanage programs. And at Red Lake, they'll be like, you want to do something up here, you better get to a tribal council meeting and present your case first. 2 different Ojibwe reservations here in the state of Minnesota with different ways of operating. So as you do tribal outreach, it's not just, getting in front of paternalism and pity, although that's part of the work. It's not just knowing systems, policies, procedures, agencies, and who your counterparts are at the tribal level and building relationships, although that also is part of the work. There are many dimensions to being really successful and adept in these spaces.